almost 81 years of age and still fascinated by the O&C story, which is in my judgment, the greatest story never told in Oregon. It really starts with Napoleon and Thomas Jefferson. Napoleon decided to give up his dreams in America. He sold what became known as the Louisiana Purchase in 1803 for the price of $15 million, which was one of the great bargains of all time. Jefferson got $2,500 out of Congress to finance Lewis and Clark in a journey west. It was the past, the journey that shaped America's destiny. It enabled us to claim the Oregon country. The fastest way to develop these lands was to give land grants for the construction of railroads. Eventually out of this emerged the checkerboard plan. One section for immigrants, settlers, the other part of the checkerboard for state, local, or federal government. Oregon wood became very valuable. It was the main building material of the country, and we just were devouring forests as people flooded into the country and the westward movement was going, and the railroads and the reform movements of the late 19th century ultimately resulted in the O&C lands being taken back by the federal government. And the lands essentially lay there for 21 years without much activity on them. When Roosevelt became president in 1933, McNary and Roosevelt combined on 3 bills. First was the Bonneville Power Administration Act. The second bill was the International Pacific Salmon Fisheries Act. The third was the Oregon and California Land Grant Act. And the purpose of the legislation as passed by McNary was that these lands should be managed for the benefit of the local communities. The lands were organized and shaped ready to be available for a major program of sustained yield timber harvesting. I had a little office in downtown Washington. I remember it was a very hot July day and the phone rang. The voice at the other end of the line said, "Joe, this is Darrell Jones in Milwaukee, Oregon." He said, "We got big problems on the O&C with a good pal of yours." I says, "What? You're not talking about Mike Kirwan, are you?" Mike Kirwan chaired the House Appropriations Subcommittee, and he was quite generous with the dispensations to these funds, and Oregon greatly benefited. Until 1961, Mike had different pet projects. He wanted to create a national aquarium, but for some strange reason, Senator Wayne Morse, Oregon's maverick senator, decided to stop Mike's appropriation. Mike had threatened to cut off, among other things, the O&C appropriations. I called up Mike and invited him to lunch. Mike and I were about on what he used to call them his toddy balls, second bourbon and water, and we got to maybe the third toddy ball, could have been the fourth, and I sensed a little softening in Mike. He says, "They're going to honor me at Youngstown in October. I want Wayne Morse there, and I want him to kiss my fanny in public." And the O&C appropriation survived.